Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Our group will be presenting the project monitoring system SPP2. Members of our group are myself, Muhammad Rafaizal, Abdul Karim, Gary Denny and Amir Bahrain. First of all, I will talk about the introduction of this SPP2. SPP2 is the first holistic monitoring mechanism developed by designing online the role of the ministry, agency including state and territories, implementing agency Department of Kerja Raya (JKR) and Central Agency Economic Planning Unit (EPU), Treasury of Malaysia (MOF) and the Department of Malaysia Accountant General (JANM). It comes with three features, namely operation, application module, budget delivery, monitoring and notification of change project, management, outcome assessment module, executive information system, EIS, geographical information system, GIS, and verification, and knowledge repositories. SPP2 is holistic project monitoring system covering federal government program, project under the RMLT planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluation. This is the first project management framework to outline the online partnership of ministry and agency and government for project application, approval and track of the progress of physical and non-physical project according to the project milestone. Background of SPP2. SPP2 is the key instrument for tracking the execution of the Malaysia 5 Years Plan (RMLT) and Private Finance Initiative (PFI) development program project as outlined in Directorship of Number 1 2020 Implementation Coordination Machinery by Implementation Coordination Unit (ICU) of JPM. For objectives of SPP2, first one as a forum for the implementation of the planning, execution, monitoring and assessment activities supported by the federal government under the RMLT for the program and project. And the second one is SPP is used to generate submission report at the coordination of development project committee meeting. SPP to users, addressing the role of ministry, agency including state and localities, Department of Engineering, Department of Public Work, Department of Jabatan Kerja Raya, and Department of Irrigation and Drainage (DID), and the Central Agency, Ministry of Economic Affairs (ISU) MEA, Implementation Coordination Unit (ICU-JPM), Treasury Malaysia (MOF) and the Department of Malaysia (JANM) Accountant General Online. Application, implementation, monitoring and evaluation of development program project is carried out in a holistic manner using SPP2. Detailed project preparation and execution require framework for program and approval, annual allocation, physical and financial control of the project, information on progress and change of project implementation, such as application module, budget module, monitoring module monitoring, and notice module modification. Strategic collaboration and exchange of data to guarantee data integrity. Integration with CIMS, CIDB, and Scala for JKR. Evaluation of the project based on objective attainment and impact on target group outcome assessment. Efficient monitoring by SPP2 not only ensure that projects are complete on budget, improve cost effectiveness and save operational costs, but also ensure that target audience benefit and the national benefit the development agenda G2C is being put into practice. Effective monitoring and solution of problem benefit both the contractor and the economic growth G2B. Information about project problems and remedial measures are used to solve project delays between ministry or agency and cross-cutting problem. Discovering issue and solution regarding implementation is a lesson and risk control for future project. For process in-house of SPP2, SPP2 was developed using in-house expertise. NADI is a section within the JPM Implementation Coordination Unit (ICU JPM). SPP2 was developed using feedback from SPP ICU JPM user. This framework is then managed by ICU JPM outside contractor over the entire operation. Before and after project monitoring system SPP2. Before the SPP2 system was developed, each ministry and agency had their own system to monitor the project, and there was no data integration between ministry and agency that made it difficult to get the latest data. The SPP2 program has united all the ministry and agency on a single forum to promote the information about required recruitment process and save time. The impact of SPP2 can be divided into four things. First one, innovative or creativity. Second, effectiveness. Third one is significant, and the fourth one is relevant. For impact on innovative or creativity, transform the project tracking and updating process from paper report to online reporting to make access to productive information simpler for users. For impact on effectiveness, updated project information, effective monitoring and resolution through SPP2 benefits the development and economic G2B industry, solving project delay and cross-cutting issue among ministry or agency G2G, and thus benefiting the well-being of people, G2C. For impacts on significant, SPP2 solve and fulfill current requirements, promote the preparation, review, approval and modification of information project, e-application module and NOC, robust online and offline project control, physical and financial spending, help and verification module, measurement of the performance evaluation to evaluate achievement of the project outcome, actual versus desired outcome, is mean outcome evaluation module, exchange of the information in the real time to ensure integrity of the data, doing by JANM, integration JKR, Scala and ESPKB and GFMAS. Every 2 years, the allocation of the rolling plan by program or by the projects. For impacts on relevant, SPP2 improve the delivery of service by the government, include online projects management and monitoring time began from application to full project assessment cycle. Evaluation of the project priorities through the creativity index of the ministry or agency measure the effectiveness of the project early and facilitates the graduation of agency preferred approval ratings. Flexibility of requesting change of project information to the ministry or agency. The approval has been made at the time and the phase not past are uncertain. Learn from ground up. For the summary for all SPP2 is: first one, consistent and timely information from centralized database. Second one is graphical and multimedia features and function. Third one is standardization of project codes of consistency. Fourth one is information can be retrieved by agency at any time. The fifth one, capability to conduct social impact analysis and simulation and forecasting in the phase 2 of the projects. Sixth one is flexibility to produce report according to requirements. And the last one, sending of the real-time online information electronically.
Effective monitoring through Project Management System 2 or PMS2 will ensure 1. The project will be completed within the stipulated period. 2. Value for money for the planned project will be achieved. 3. The cost of the project will be reduced. 4. The target group will gain benefits from the project. And 5. The nation building agenda is achieved. The monitoring process or online monitoring. 1 is the monitoring module. The monitoring module in PMS2 is an instrument to assist ministries and central agencies in monitoring the execution of programs or development plans in the 5-year development plan (RMLT) and Private Finance Initiative (PFI) as stated in Directive No. 1, 2018, Implementation Coordination Machinery by ICU JPM. Ministries or agencies is responsible to update information in PMS2 consistently to ensure the integrity of the information generated from PMS2 or SPP2. The monitoring process. Online monitoring. iPantau system, the integrated project and tracking analysis updates. iPantau system is an internal system developed by ICU JPM that combines various reporting formats based on the monitoring and compliance evaluation best practices project execution using the following models: A. Action log and P forensic module. Records outcome of monitoring visits by the monitoring and technical officers from ICU JPM to enable the follow-up and follow-through process on issues discovered during the site visit. B. The Inspectorate module records data from best practices assessment in selected implementation of programs or development projects via inspectorate assessment activities by monitoring officers from ICU JPM. The findings will be reported to the Public Services Department and is considered as one of the key performance indicators for the Secretary General of respective ministries. This module is accessible to all ministries for the implementation of this DIY monitoring and evaluation. C. Site visit by the Minister and the Secretary General module. This is a report on site visits by the Minister and Secretary General, especially involving problematic and overdue projects. Monitoring initiatives. A. Project Implementation Readiness (PIR). This is an activity to evaluate the readiness aspect of a project implementation by the ministry, especially involving new projects by respective ministries. B. Reboot recovery plans on problematic projects. A solution-oriented initiative collaboratively by targeting project recovery and recovery actions to issues relating to the project in ensuring smooth running of the said project. C. P forensics. Visits to selected SIG projects, which is construction projects that is facing physical delays of more than 60 days or 20% from the date that is being scheduled for completion or expected progress. D. Implementation Performance Assessment Visit (IBS). Monitoring of implementation progress for the government's high priority projects. For example, the Pengerang Integrated Petroleum Complex. E. Inspectorate assessment activities. Activity to evaluate the compliance aspect of best practices. Projects by the ministries by officers from ICU JPM. Achievement for compliance to the best practices in project implementation will be submitted to the Public Services Department as one of the KPI for the Ministry's Secretary General. F. Health check, troubleshooting and intervention visit. Visits by monitoring officers and technical officers from JPM to ease the follow-up and follow-through process on problems discovered during the previous monitoring visit. Assessment initiatives. Outcome assessment is used as a tool to measure the impact of the project or development on target groups. It needs to be done independently without siding to any parties with interest. Performance measurement can be done with gap analysis, which is the actual outcome for key performance indicator or KPI or performance indicator against required objectives. Readiness, Operational and Outcome Delivery Assessment (PKPO) is an initiative to assess the effectiveness of the operational and readiness outcome of the physical projects within 6 months of the delivery. PKPO scrutinizes operational issues and outcomes that can affect the benefits to the target group. The Outcome Assessment Committee (JKPO) is used as a platform to evaluate the effectiveness of the implementation of a program or development project as targeted. Process involved includes gathering of data in detail and independently in order to inform the stakeholders on the effects after a certain project or programs have been implemented. It will evaluate how far the objectives and the targeted outcome stated during the planning process have actually been achieved, whilst at the same time measure the effects and changes to the target group socially, economically, politically, and also the effects on the environment. Outcome Assessment Module (MPO) SPP2 is a module integrated to SPP2 and is developed as a mechanism to evaluate projects online. The characteristics of MPO: 1. Provides a template for assessment report to evaluate the outcome in the implementation of a certain program or project. 2. Proactive involvement of officers in the ministry or agencies as penyedia, pengesah or peraku to ensure the quality of the report. 3. Flexibility to amend, update the current outcome assessment report. And 4. The check report function by the Strategic Assessment Division of ICU, while JPM is the authority to accept or repudiate the report.
So the case is Public Prosecutor versus Muhammad Noor bin Rajab. So the first is they went to the Constitution Court first and then they appeal to the High Court of Malaya. Introduction of the case. So the person is Muhammad Noor bin Rajab. He hold a position as Ketua Sektor Hikmat Pengurusan dan Pembangunan Grade M52 Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Pulau Pinang. So there have been 2 charges on him. The first one is under Section 23 Subsection 1 Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009, and then the second charge is Section 165 of Penal Code. The chronology of the case. In 17 October 2013, Muhammad Noor abused his power as a high government official, which is a grade M52, in the District Education Office in Pulau Pinang, where he acknowledged a payment voucher to supply lab coats for the school lab assistant in the whole district of Pulau Pinang, amounting to 26,162 ringgit and 50 cents. The payment voucher were paid to Syarikat Nur Ehsan Maju Enterprise, where he has a significant interest in the said company. On 24th October 2013, Muhammad Noor actually has received a cash amounting to 24,656 ringgit Malaysian by check from Sheikh Mohammed Harun bin Mohammed Farouk, which is a sole proprietor of Syarikat Nur Ihsan Maju Enterprise, where actually he knew that Sheikh Mohammed had an official work relationship between them, which is the lab coat, and yet still accepted the money given. In July 2014, Mohammad Noor was called to the MSCC office for further investigation on himself and also Syarikat Nur Ihsan Maju Enterprise. On 18 May 2018, they were called to the session court where the court declared that Mohammad Noor is guilty on both charges, but then he appealed to the High Court as he was not satisfied with the session court judgment because he accused that the two witnesses in the session that was called to the session court as liar and cannot be trusted. Continuing to the High Court in 28 August 2019, in the High Court of Malaya, Mohammad Noor, the appellant, the court found out that both the witnesses are speaking the truth and that the trial judge decided that in this case the defense of the accused was a bare denial, and in fact the evidence of the accused strengthened the prosecution case.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amir bin Bahrain. I will proceed to continue our presentation on the case with the charges against the accused. For the first charge, the accused was charged under Section 23 of MACC Act. In this case, the accused was on 17 October 2013 at Pejabat Pendidikan Negeri Pulau Pinang, acting under his capacity as Head in Service Management and Development Division, Grade M52, Officer in Government Service in State Education Department, had used his position to obtain graft by approving a cash voucher for payment to supply lab coat to lab assistant for schools in Penang in year 2013, which is worth of 26,162.50 to Syarikat Noor, of which he has interest in it, and he shall be punishable under Section 24 of the same Act. For the second charge, the accused was charged under Section 165 of Penal Code. Section 165 of Penal Code read that any public servant obtaining any valuable thing without consideration for person concerned in any proceeding or business transacted by such public servant. In this case, the accused was on 24th October 2013 at Maybank Branch, Penang Road, acting as head in State Education Department, had agreed to obtain valuable thing of cash amounting to 24,656 via Maybank check without consideration from Sheikh Mohammed, and that having official business with him, and that he has committed an offence under Section 165 of Penal Code. The verdict in this case is that the court has adduced that the accused is liable for the two charges. For your information, the accused has bring up the case to appeal. However, he has failed in this appeal, and the court has retained and remained the punishments against the accused. In conclusion, from here we can see the effectiveness of using project monitoring system 2, where in this case Jabatan Accountant Negara managed to trace a draft activity on high-ranking officer. However, the system can still be manipulated by high-ranking approving authority when the payment is successfully made by GFMS. Negligence. Although having multiple levels of approving authority, the perpetrator can still penetrate the system by allowing the transaction that was given by the high-ranking officer. I think that's all from us, and thank you.
Here is another add-on on the Sistem Perancangan Kawalan Belanjawan Elektronik, which is also known as ESPKB, which is someone doing fraud on the system. The person doing fraud was Sawiya Salim, 29 years old in 2013. She is a former National Film Department Administration Assistant Officer, which have worked there for 6 years. She is in charge of the department administration and finance, and she also has access to the ESPKB. She has forged 22 vouchers to claim the money from the department, where she is making false catering service claim amounting to 85,350 ringgit. But then she pleaded guilty and was fined $88,000, 88,000 ringgit Malaysia, and was sentenced to a 22-day symbolic imprisonment term by the session court. All the payment were made to actually how did she do the fraud is actually all the payment were made to a company Syarikat Rahada Catering for the said catering service, but the account number inked on the voucher payment was actually her own personal account. She reasoned that her admission to all charges against her had saved the court time that she was remorseful for the offence committed and had quit the job. Sawiya's original charges were filed under Section 409 of the Penal Code for criminal breach of trust, but then were changed to Section 468 of the Penal Code for forgery since she pleaded guilty to the offence. That's all from us. Thank you.